Welcome back. Today marking the 77th anniversary of the Liberation of Auschwitz concentration camp. And you remember, nearly 6 million Jews killed by the Nazis and their collaborators during the Holocaust. International Holocaust Remembrance Day serves as a reminder of the tragedy that happened during World War II. Pleased to have Israel's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Danon, and Rabbi Abraham Cooper, Associate Dean and Director of Global Social Action for the Simon Wiesenthal Center. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on today and how important it is to remember exactly what happened 77 years ago today. Rabbi, I'll start with you. How can we remember those who suffered such a tragedy 77 years ago today?
Right. Thank you for having me on. I think the most important thing is to educate the younger generations to understand the lessons that we have to take from it. Start with the 80th anniversary of the Wannsee Conference in January 1942, when in 90 minutes over drinks, 15 ministers of state of Nazi Germany, 8 of them with PhDs, signed off on the final solution to murder every single Jew in Europe. Education does not equal ethics. The United Nations, we're going to hear very powerful and positive words today, but as the ambassador can tell you, the rest of the year, it's at best a mixed record. We very much appreciate commemorating, remembering dead Jews. We need more help during a time of raging anti-Semitism for solidarity from our neighbors and from the nations for live Jews.
Yeah, what a important statement, combating anti-Semitism, and something that we continue to see happen even today. Ambassador, your thoughts?
We remember today the victims, the survivors, but I think the further we get from World War II, people tend to forget. And the Holocaust denial and anti-Semitism on the rise, including in the United States of America. A few days ago, the General Assembly adopted an important resolution about Holocaust denial. Everybody supported the resolution except of one country, Iran. Actually the regime of Tehran, they sponsor events to promote Holocaust denial. So we should continue with education, legislation, and enforcement against hate crimes. Unfortunately, when you look at the numbers that the FBI published, anti-Semitism is on the rise in the US and Europe.
Rabbi, there are still survivors that are with us today, which is amazing to even be able to live and to tell that story, something they have endured. Perhaps there's a younger generation that doesn't really know much about this story. How can you tell it?
Right. Well, the Wiesenthal Center is a teaching institution. We have the Museum of Tolerance. We have documentaries, including Oscar winners. And of course, we're deeply involved in social media to reach out to the younger generations. But you're right. In a few years, we won't have access to the first person testimony. They're leaving the world stage. Each of them is so precious and important and inspirational to young people. I also want to just recall a very important statement made by our namesake, Simon Wiesenthal, himself a victim of the Holocaust. He lost 89 members of his family. He was once asked, could this happen again? And he said the following in 1980. He said, if you have hate plus a crisis plus technology, anything is possible. That was decades before the internet, decades before social media, decades before the Tehran regime, a state policy to deny that it actually happened. And of course, nobody ever conceived of the COVID crisis. So we're at a very tough time collectively around the world, almost at a tipping point. If anything, the lessons of the Holocaust for the rest of the world are much, much more relevant. And for the Jewish people, the only real difference in the world today is, thank God, a strong Jewish state of Israel led by great leaders like the ambassador that you have on.
Well, we're out of time, but we remember them today here on National Report on this program. Ambassador Danon taking his time, as well as Rabbi Abraham Cooper. Thank you both for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.